What I just experienced at the grocery store infuriated me, says Shirley, 50, from St. Louis. 3 women, a teenager, an elderly woman, and a middle-aged woman, were shopping together. The teenager was riding a motorized cart for handicapped customers. After checking out, the teenager jumped off the cart, and all 3 walked out laughing their butts off. I can understand teenage immaturity, but what about the others? What can managers and customers do? From Y Forum, this is Dare to Ask. M, a female from Georgia, responded, "Are you sure the teen didn't have a disability? My 22-year-old niece has a medical issue that makes it impossible for her to walk more than 10 to 15 minutes. She doesn't look disabled and can walk fine, but unless you knew her, you wouldn't think she had an issue." 49-year-old Rob of Jacksonville said, "As a handicap shopper, I know that all people with a valid handicap will have a red, that is temporary, or blue, permanent, parking placard, allowing them to use a handicap parking spot. A handicap registration goes with the placard. The handicapped person is to keep a copy of this registration on them at all times. If all stores had the available manpower, they should only issue carts to shoppers with a current handicap registration." Here's what we found. Art Metrano played a goofy cop in the Police Academy movies of the 80s. Okay, there were a lot of goofy cops in Police Academy, but he was one of the more high-ranking ones. Though he recovered after a fall from a ladder at home injured his spinal cord, he still uses a motorized wheelchair for longer distances and advocates for the disabled. Like his character, Metrano's not too subtle. Some of these people, they're thoughtless. A young person who's never had any tragedy, they don't think about the other person as much. They see an electric cart and think, "Oh, there's something I can have. Who gives a shit?" They don't care. Metrano's plan for them? "If I was physically able, I'd get out of my own cart and throw the kid off it and make sure it's there for someone who needs it," he said. But what about the rest of us, or a store manager? Metrano said placards into carts' baskets reminding shoppers who the carts are really for would be a start, along with some firm assertiveness. It's very delicate for a manager, but at the same time, if they see a young boy using one and he looks okay, they can ask the boy or his parent, "Are you handicapped?" said Metrano. Don't just let the parent let the kid use it as a toy. Metrano, whose one-man show Jews Don't Belong on Ladders, an accidental comedy, has raised more than $175,000 for the Project Support for Spinal Cord Injury, is somewhat of a zealot when it comes to handicapped parking spots. I've had many occasions where I stopped someone in the lot. Once, I even stopped a guy in L.A. that I knew. I said, "What are you doing with a handicap spot?" He was like, "I had an ingrown toenail removed." Now that's stupid. Mike, 20, from Iowa asked, "Why do women always run to men who are assholes or who abuse them? And why can't they get out of these relationships?" Robin, 55, a female from Westland, Michigan, responded, "Some find them exciting. They like living on the edge. Some think they can save the poor, misunderstood fellow. They believe they're not really all that bad underneath, and they, the woman, will uncover the good in them. The majority are simply attracted to the men who are what they are used to, and sadly, they are used to abuse. I was once in that category." It's easy, says Gigi, a 45-year-old male from Idaho. When a girl dates a bad boy, it is obviously all on him. She is always the blameless victim who gets sympathy and always has entertaining drama stewing so she can be the center of attention with her friends. If he dumps her, that's just the bum being the jerk he is. Being with a nice guy has deep risks. If there are problems, there's a good chance he isn't causing them. There's no drama to passively be entertained by. She has to be her best self and bring something to the table. SC, a Texas male, told us, "This applies to both genders. Some women are like assholes, and for some reason, the abused men do not get out of the relationship. Maybe he doesn't know better that there are good women out there too." M, a female from Dallas, Georgia. "Some women have such low self-esteem that they think no man would want them, so when one does show interest, they'd rather take the abuse than be alone. And as sick as it sounds, some women believe jealousy and abuse prove the man cares about them." Here's what we found. Yes, it's true. Some men like to get their bad self on, and too many women yearn to domesticate them, said Illinois therapist Carrie Hunter. That's carriehunter.com. She has spent more than 2 decades helping couples through relationship and marital woes. We can go back to a woman's childhood and their relationship with their father. Were they the apple of Dad's eye or not, she said. Often they're socialized to be maternal, to tame and shape in their relationships. Then they get excited by the bad boy, but eventually expect him to be other than what he is. Then what do? They hit up a nice guy male friend and cry on his shoulder. It happens the other way around too, but men aren't socialized to whine about it lest they look like a sap, Hunter said. The media don't help, reinforcing flamboyant relationships with wild guys. Witness their reinvention of Sherlock Holmes as a bad boy in the movie remakes with Robert Downey Jr. But it's more fun to see that than an accountant and school teacher just made for each other, she noted. Ideally, women should have long-term relationship goals and take time between breakups so they can start fresh with the right guy. They should follow advice Madonna doesn't seem to, she said. Remember, don't settle for second best, baby. For more on this groundbreaking cross-cultural Q&A project, visit youdaretoask.com.